March. The sea, ever an unpredictable maiden, grew more temperamental this time of year. Our mission to recover the lost artifacts of the legendary Landis family had come to a complete halt. Until that day, when Bob, newly promoted to second mate, came to me, cradling a child in his arms. He said they had pulled her from the sea. Could that be true? How could a girl, barely a year old, survive the ocean's depths? Yet something about her brought the Landis family to mind. The very family we had been searching for, the ones who vanished with their island into the waves. If they hadn't perished, but instead founded a kingdom beneath the sea, then this child might be the key to unlocking that mystery, to realizing our dream. We should give her a name, Bob said. In my native tongue, Amy means beloved Amy. Amy Landis. She would be our helm, the one to steer us toward the truth behind the legend.
Who's at the helm? The ship's gone completely off course! At this rate, we'll be swallowed by the whirlpool! I won't let the El Dorado become just another legend, lost beneath the waves like Landis!
Help! Save me! Bob, please help me!
What? A blood beast? That sailor at the helm. Is he the one steering the ship? Is that the sailor young Van Helsing mentioned? No time to think! Rescue first, helm second!
As you wish. He's the fine revelation. Dungeon of my deepest devotion.
Sorry! We only have one item in stock!
And that's death. And return what once was!
That's not a customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life's symphony to this dungeon of my deepest devotion.
Sorry! We only have...
Hold on! I'm here to...
That won't be necessary, First Mate Bob. The greatest help you could offer me is to die.
You?
Have you forgotten me? You've all forgotten I existed. But that's just as it should be. We, the faithful of Famine Rana, have no need for names.
Then you were never part of this crew to begin with. When did you...
When your body is devoured by the great Rana, you will be reborn. You'll finally see the truth of this world. Now, raise your voice with mine and invoke the sacred name of the Moon-Blessed. Famine Rana shall once more reign over the sea that rightfully belongs to her.
Did we overdo it? Oh, my!
As you wish.
He's the fine revelation. Customer.
The flow of time and return what once was!
That's not a customer. Sorry! We only have one item in stock! And that's death.
I shall dedicate the finale of lifetime and return what once was!
That's not a customer.
We still have a long journey ahead.
December. The crew could no longer endure the bitter cold, and we were forced to suspend the salvage operation. We sailed south, toward warmer harbors, to escape the winter chill. It was an opportunity to grant leave to the crew who had followed me tirelessly for the past year. But William never left the ship. He shut himself away in the alchemy lab, day after day. The more we uncovered about the Landis family, the more reclusive he became. Everyone on board tried to lift his spirits, but to no avail. I worried for him. But every time I tried to speak from concern, it came out sounding like reproach. When the time comes, I must find a way to understand what's weighing on him. After all, no matter what happens, he is my only brother.
Goldland truly was an exceptional captain, a devoted brother, and an adventurer worthy of every accolade. His research into the Landis family artifacts far surpassed even the Church's own records.
And because it's so thorough, there are dozens of volumes. Are you sure you want to read through all of them here?
If we keep reading at this pace, we may not even get a chance to appear in our own story.
Let's head to the upper level and rejoin the others.
Wait, this page caught my attention. The island home of the Landis family was known as the Pillars of Hercules. But rather than an island, it more closely resembled an enormous ship. Before their disappearance, the Landis family was one of the 12 families under the Church protection. Even with branch families and all the residents of their territory, no ship could possibly carry so many people.
Maybe it wasn't meant literally. It could be describing an island, capable of movement.
A moving island? Or perhaps the island itself is alive.
Or under the supernatural influence of a divine body.
It's true that each of the 12 families guards a divine body within their territory, but their supernatural nature is not something outsiders like you should be privy to, least of all a Bloodborne.
And what if I told you I didn't just hear about it? I experienced it myself.
Then I might need a moment to consider whether to force the truth out of you, or keep searching Goldland's journals for the answer. What's happening?
The noise. It's coming from the storage room.
They're here too, and they've brought some new friends.
As you wish. Here's the fine revelation.
Evil! That's not a customer. Sorry! We only have one item in stock!
A few.
And that's death.
Dungeon of my deepest devotion. I shall dedicate the finale of life to the flow of time. Return what once was!
Evil!
Where did these blood beasts come from? They're nothing like the ones we faced before.
Perhaps we'll find out once we reach the source of that sound.
Then our next move. It seems we've reached our first disagreement.
If all goes well, I'll see you on the deck.
Before I leave, I need to hurry, and Goldland might have truly discovered the secret behind the Landis family's disappearance. Something even the Church doesn't know.
The dance must not end here. As you wish. Here's the fine revelation. I shall dedicate the finale of life to this death. The flow of time and return what once was.
Sorry! We only have one item in stock!
The dance must not end here. As you wish. Here's the fine revelation. The flow of time and return to the master of life symphony. Too big to step.
Sorry! We only have one item in stock! And that's done.
Dungeon of my deepest devotion.
That's not a customer.
The dance must not end here.
As you wish. Here's the fine revelation. I shall dedicate the finale of life's symphony.
That's not a customer.
Dungeon of my deepest devotion.
That's not a customer. Sorry! We only have one item in stock! And that's done.
Return what once was! What joy is there to be found in such things?
April. Following an encounter with pirates, we carried out repairs on the El Dorado. On the eve of our departure, I found myself reflecting on the life I led before ever setting foot aboard this ship. Back then, William and I were dock workers, living from meal to meal, never daring to speak of our dreams of the sea, until I found it. On a storm-ravaged night, I recovered an ocean blue sapphire from the body of a nobleman lost to the waves. I had meant to sell it to change our lives. But that night, I dreamed. In the dream, the sapphire came from a hidden underwater kingdom. I was no longer myself, but a spirit gliding freely through the sea, untethered and unburdened. The fish whispered to me that this was the Pillars of Hercules, a wondrous island beneath the Sea of Metamar, home of the Landis family for generations. If the Landis clan had not been devoured by sea monsters, as the rumors claimed, but instead migrated into the depths, then my dream, no, humanity's dream, of voyaging into the deep is no longer a fantasy. I learned much from the Landis people, of the ocean, of navigation. Aboard their great vessel, I discovered by embedding 2 jewels on opposite ends of the helm, they could sail to any destination within the span of a single storm. One jewel was blue, mournful, like the one in my possession. The other was crimson, deep and unfathomable. If I can find the second gem, I too shall command this miraculous gift. And I shall become the greatest adventurer the sea has ever known. I must tell William. We who carry this jewel are chosen by the sea. We were meant to embark upon a legendary odyssey. In the years that followed, I slowly gathered a fleet, piecing together every rumor tied to the lost Landis ship. In Sapphire Isle, my perseverance bore fruit. I acquired the wreckage of a ship built by the Landis people. I spent the last of my fortune to restore it, and gave it a name worthy of its fate, the El Dorado. From this day forward, it shall carry our dreams, set sail, never sink.
At this rate, it just might. When I came down here with Amy, this floor was in far better shape. The blood beast must have torn through after we left. The stairs have collapsed and the fire's spreading fast. And Helsing was right. We should have taken the other route. Still, I can't get that tentacle out of my head. The one that dragged William's body. It must have reached down from this storage room. Let's search quickly for any clues, then regroup with the others. Of course it wouldn't be that simple, would it? Then I'll let my blade do the talking.
As you wish. I merely plucked it in passing.
Allow me to present the dance. Allow me to present the dance.
That's not a customer. That's not a customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life symphony. Dance. I shall dedicate the finale of life symphony. Flow of time, and return what once was! A future. Dungeon of my deepest devotion. Perhaps. This is my the flow of time, and return what once was! Finale of life symphony to this dance. Flow of time and return what once was.
They're closing in from every direction. Why are they avoiding that spot? Was that my imagination? Did that fish barrel just move? The fish must be fresh. But more importantly, a blue jewel. It feels like I've seen it somewhere before. Right. That's Goldlin's earring. Did it fall here when the tentacle dragged him away? Ugh! Is this resonance? Oh, what is this feeling? Like being dragged into the sea. I can't breathe.
Oh, that was close. Are you sure hiding in a barrel is really going to work?
Well, we weren't discovered.
Only because he was sent flying. There's a massive hole in the ship now.
Ah, that explains the draft.
Then why do I feel so hot?
Because your barrel is on fire.
Ah! Put it out!
Just endure it. Once you're well done, the heat won't bother you anymore. Sweating fish barrel.
You think this is a grill? I need water!
Fish. Always in such a rush. Unlike us, right?
The dance must not end here.
As you wish.
That's not a customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life symphony.
That's not a customer.
Flow of time and return what once was! I shall dedicate the finale of life symphony. A future. The flow of time and return what once was!
That's not a customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life symphony.
That's not a customer. We only have one item in stock!
The dance must not end here.
As you wish.
All raw materials for my merchandise.
I merely plucked it in passing. As you wish. Here's the fine
That's not a
revelation.
customer. That's not a customer.
I'm celebrate the finale of life.
We only have one item in stock. And that's that.
What once was! I shall dedicate the finale of life's symphony to this dance.
As you wish. As you wish.
I merely plucked it in passing.
Allow me to present the dance.
All raw materials for my merchandise.
Here's the fine
That's not a
revelation.
customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life's symphony of time and return what once was! I shall dedicate the finale of life's symphony
That's not a customer.
the flow of time and return what once was!
That's not a
I
customer.
shall dedicate the finale of life's symphony to this dance. The flow of time
not a
and
customer.
return what once was! The flow of time and return what once was!
March. It has been 12 years since we found Amy. In all that time, we've uncovered no meaningful leads regarding the Landis family. We discovered Amy in these waters, which is why I remain convinced their ruins must lie somewhere nearby. For 9 long years, our salvage operations made no breakthrough. Meanwhile, our maritime trade flourished, drawing the attention of the church. On the advice of Bob, once a church officer, now my first mate, I did not resist their inspection. In fact, I accepted their terms. They required my ship's aid in retrieving what they call future artifacts, and in return, they agreed to share historical records on the Landis family and the divine body they have guarded for generations. Yet in the end, beyond confirming that the jewel in my earring may be linked to that divine body, we uncovered nothing of substance. It seems the path before us remains shrouded in darkness.
Why is it pitch black on the way to the captain's quarters?
It must be Famine's followers. After their resurrection, they went rampaging through the ship. Even the sconces weren't spared.
Followers? They aren't just regular blood beasts?
With half its power restored, Famine can already draw every blood beast aboard into its will resonance. If it becomes whole, the consequences will be devastating.
So, what would make it whole? Devouring that jellyfish? What makes her so special?
Perhaps it has something to do with Miss Amy's unknown origins.
Whatever the reason, we absolutely cannot allow her to be devoured. Meow.
Oh, you've shifted back to your beast form. Don't go creeping around in the dark like that.
Blending into the environment to protect myself is instinct. My apologies. I forgot the Empress fears the dark.
Wait, your card can be used for fire?
Just like the fate that awaits this chariot, burning is its final mission.
You alright, silly wolf?
I feel weak, lightheaded, like when I first boarded.
Are we even going the right way? You sure you saw that weird sailor lead people into the captain's quarters?
I'm certain. That's why they're stationed here, to guard this place.
Whoa! That walking suit of armor has joined the followers?
Calamity-level black blood leaves mortals no choice. You'd better be careful, Meow.
You're not coming with us?
I promised we wouldn't let famine devour that girl. That was my agreement with the captain, Meow. I'll be going now. Meow.
As you wish.
All raw materials for my merchandise. Those who don't know subservience shall be punished.
to customers. That's not a customer.
A few.
And return once more!
I shall dedicate the finale of life to this death. I shall dedicate the finale of life
That's not a customer.
to this death. The flow of time. And return what once was!
That's not a customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life to this death.
That's not a customer.
The flow of time. And return what once was!
That's not a customer.
The flow of time. And return what once was!
That's not a customer.
I shall dedicate the finale of life
That's not a customer.
to this death. The flow of time. And return what once was!
March. Amy turned 15 today. She told me she received a strange birthday gift. A jewel. Deep red and luminous. There's no doubt in my mind. No matter how many years pass, I'll never forget it. This is the other jewel I saw in my dream. Could our long-held dream finally be realized? I wanted to tell William the moment I saw it, to share in the joy, but he barely acknowledged the news. Day after day, he continued meeting in secret with Inspector Jones. I'd heard his research had made a breakthrough. But in my obsession with the Landis jewel, I failed to see how much he'd changed. How much I had missed. I regret not asking sooner about his research, and why he kept it so carefully hidden from me. His captain, his brother. When I followed him to the long-sealed lower deck, I understood at last. In there, I saw a demon.
Goldland had known all along. Now I understand why Jones so readily accepted when I volunteered to take over security for this voyage. A pity. He was a fine captain. But in the end, his need to play the good brother doomed him. It seems even my reading speed has become a liability. Blood beasts have gathered in both the upper and lower corridors. Which way should I go? I suppose I'll have to experience what it's like to be a murderer.
That was too easy.
As you wish.
Those who don't know subservience shall be punished. Those who don't know subservience shall be punished. Those who don't know subservience shall be punished.
He's the fine revelation. I shall dedicate the finale of Life's symphony to the flow of time and return what once was!
This is my reputation.
The flow of time and return what once was! The flow of time and return what once was! The flow of time and return what once was!
That was too easy.
As you wish. I merely plucked it in passing. As you wish.
Those who don't know subservience shall be punished. All raw materials for my merchandise.
He's the fine revelation.
Sorry! We only have one item in stock!
And that's done. Of time and return what I shall dedicate the finale of Life's symphony.
That's not a customer.
This dance. The flow of time and return I shall dedicate the finale of Life's symphony to this dance.
That was too easy.
As you wish.
All raw materials for my merchandise.
I merely plucked it in passing.
Those who don't know subservience shall be punished.
As you wish.
He's the fine revelation. The flow of
This
time
is my reputation.
and return what
That's
once
not a
was! I shall dedicate the finale of Life's symphony to this dance. The flow of time and return what once was! The flow of time and return what once was! I shall dedicate the finale of Life's symphony to this dance. The flow of time and return what once was!
The dance must not end here.
October. For half a year now, I've lived with the knowledge that the demon could awaken at any moment. It was my own brother who stirred it from its sleep. Of course, I never intended to sit back and await my death. While I continued to search for traces of the Landis ruins in the open, in secret, I began searching for a man, Cain Lamboza. In the underground world, they'd whispered that his mastery of alchemy rivals that of Albrecht, the Bellringer. But more importantly, he's also an expert on black blood. Far beyond William in both knowledge and danger. He became my only hope against the nightmare that stalked my thoughts. I was prepared to offer both of the divine body jewels in exchange for a way to seal the demon, but unexpectedly, he showed greater interest in Amy. After I told him what little I knew about her, he gave me vital information without asking for another thing in return. The demon I saw was likely famine, one of the most terrifying calamities ever classified by the Church. And only the divine bodies, protected across the continent by the 12 families, can hold their ground against such apocalyptic threats. There was hope. The 2 gems Amy and I possessed are fruits of the right hand of the divine body once guarded by the Landis family. But the true right hand was the golden tree that upheld their island, the very pillar that gave name to the Pillars of Hercules. That tree has long since sunk beneath the sea. And 2 fruits alone are not enough to seal famine. As despair took hold, I remembered the dream I had all those years ago. By embedding the 2 jewels into either side of the helm, one could sail anywhere, so long as they passed through the storm that churned like a vortex of time itself, to prevent William from growing suspicious and awakening famine before I was ready. I used exploration as a pretense to visit each family guarding a divine body. I never told the crew the truth behind how we traveled through the storm. They simply believed that El Dorado was the fastest ship in the world. Only Amy, who lent me the jewel before each departure. I could never tell whether she was naive, for not once did she ask a question. I was prepared that each voyage might be both the dearest and the last of my life. The eyes of the divine body, once held by the Alita family, vanished with their host. But I endured the vast frozen plains and wind that cut through bone. The heart, once kept by the Corel family, was destroyed in a great fire. Yet I stood among blooming fields in eternal spring. Next, we set course for the Howling Peninsula, where the womb is guarded by the Ganelon family, and the wings by the Bathories. Strangely, as time passed, I found myself thinking less of whether the divine bodies remained, and more of what wonders might await us at the next shore.
Behold! The howling tempest! The surging waves! A breathtaking vista gifted to us by the sea itself! Look upon these carved window panes, this crest of the sirens, treasures left to us by our noble bloodline. What an honor it is to have such a worthy audience bear witness to the glorious rebirth of our mistress, Rana!
Let him go! Amy, are you all right?
No one shall interfere with our great mistress's rebirth!
Hey, Jacinta! You're supposed to be strong! Why did you charge him first without saving that jellyfish?
Ending famine in its incomplete state wouldn't be difficult, but ensuring the hermit's survival would be. Especially since she's already halfway merged.
I had thought since the Bathory and Ganelon families have severed ties with the Church, you'd understand our family's vision and the true nature of this world.
How do you know about us? Who even are you?
If I'm not mistaken, he's a descendant of the Landis family, while Amy is the final heir of its true bloodline.
Landis? That great family engulfed by the sea 44 years ago? Well, even if they survived, weren't they meant to be gravekeepers of the divine body? Then why? The gravekeepers, instead of protecting the divine body, they're resurrecting the calamity? Oh, what kind of madness is this?
You, of all people, should understand. When you struck down our mistress earlier, you used another calamity's power, didn't you? You're no different. A fugitive who killed the gravekeeper and ran.
I didn't. That was... I'm not...
And you, the loudmouth bloodborne. You're from the Bathory family, aren't you? You lot saw through the church's lies and turned your backs on them long ago.
That was before I was even born! Why pin that on me?
Lady Empress.
And you, that masked witch. Even cloaked as you are, you can't hide the stench of the divine body on you.
You're not merely a Landis survivor. Are you?
Indeed. He is the descendant of countless Landis people.
What's that supposed to mean? That's creepy! Are you saying he's not just one person?
It's collective memory. When the Landis family sank beneath the sea, most perished. But they had already turned to famine's black blood.
Through the resonance of black blood, their memories merged. And those memories now live on in survivors like him.
It's Eon's fault. That shameless false god who poisoned the world with her lies about order. We kept our vow. We guarded the divine body and offered our sacrifices. Yet year after year, our home kept sinking. It was Rana, our great mistress, whose whispers led us to salvation. She showed us the truth. We could cut down the divine body and use its sacred wood to build a great vessel that would carry us to a new homeland.
Sounds more like she preyed on your desperation and tricked you into destroying the divine body. Just so she could escape.
Your understanding is far too shallow. We won't waste time trying to bring you to our side. Let your foolish but delectable blood become our offering for Rana's glorious rebirth.
As you wish.
All raw materials for my merchandise.
Allow me to present the dance.
All raw materials for my merchandise.
He's the fine revelation.
Customer. That's not a customer.
Dungeon of my deepest devotion.
Flow of time, and return when I shall dedicate the finale of life. The flow of time, and return when once was. I shall dedicate the finale of life.
That's not a customer.
Dungeon of my deepest devotion.
And return what once was!
You've lost. And just your luck. We're not exactly short on heavy hitters today.
Lady Empress, parading around in borrowed plumes does little to impress.
Release Amy now!
It's no use. Even if you kill us, we'll always remain with our mistress, and she will create new vessels to carry us forward.
Please, stop! Jack? Elena? Michael? Clovis?
Impossible. You're still conscious? Lady Amy!
Landis doesn't belong here anymore. Go back. Return to where everyone is waiting.
We know this must hurt you, Lady Amy. But soon, you'll return to Rana's memory and be reborn as the new perfected ancestral of Landis.
Ah! Hey! No matter how you look at it, isn't famine just using you? What exactly are you even following?
I thought a family like Bathory, apostates yourselves, would understand the truth behind the Moonblessed. But I see now. Your blood only gets duller with each generation.
Excuse me! I know about the Moonblast too, thank you very much!
But I don't get it. She turned you into this. Even if you're with family now, is losing your sense of self really what you wanted?
And more importantly, those whispers you followed back then, did they save you in the end?
Enough! Our ship was nearly complete. El Dorado was meant to be the final vessel. But that day, the church sent that bell ringer. She destroyed our homeland and ships.
And the truth behind the sinking of the Landis family was this?
I've no more words for you. The ritual is one step from completion!
And here I was, thinking if I let you talk long enough, I might hear something interesting.
Where did you... Wait... The hidden tunnel from earlier!
Van Helsing. You truly are brilliant. Just the kind of mind we've longed to welcome. But it's far too late now. No one can stop the final step of the ritual!
That remains to be seen. There is another way to stop famine.
What are you planning?
I won't let you harm my mistress!
And I won't let anyone harm Amy.
Great Rana, receive now the blood of your children. May your resurrection be complete!
Amy! Have you lost it? Are you really planning to kill Amy just to stop famine?
So this is the fabled justice they say never wavers.
No. It seems Mr. Van Helsing was never aiming at Miss Amy at all, but rather...
Wait. Was that the red jewel from that jellyfish girl's necklace?
According to Goldland's journals, after the Landis family sank, 2 divine body jewels still remained in the world. This red gem is one of them. If we can combine them in a certain way, as the journals described, we may be able to suppress famine. And maybe save Amy.
Amy's still alive, right? We can still save her?
Well then, little Justice. After all that setup, do you even know where the other jewel is?
The jewel... Wait! I think I do! Back in the warehouse with Amy, I saw Famine devour the captain's body, then spat something out.
Wow! For a dumb wolf, your memory is impressive.
Famine devours all things, but the very object meant to seal her. That's the one thing she can't digest.
The fruit of the divine body. The second jewel must have fallen in the warehouse, right along Silverhaired's path.
What was that?
So this is Famine's true form. The devil finally bares her teeth.
Hey! Running away?
I'm leaving this to you. I need to reach the deck. An arrangement's already been made. The final battle will take place there.
At this rate, I'll never catch up. Looks like I'll have to fly there. In my beast form.
What joy is there to be found in such things?